All right, so my name is Ryan Joerger. I'm an athletic performance coach for the Iowa Wolves and the Minnesota Timberwolves. This is my third season. I've been training and coaching for about 10 years. Love it, it's my passion. And every day I wake up excited to do it. Yeah, so I think it always starts off with being a terrible athlete. So I had to find kind of my niche and like how could I stay in this and how could I help others. For me, I had 2 patella dislocations, so I was always trying to work on myself. And then luckily I used those lessons to help other people in their return to play programs or their performance training programs. So started with myself and playing sports, every type of sport you could think of, I was a part of. And then once I hurt my knee, I really had to dive in and find movements that worked for me to kind of bring myself back to where I used to be and to kind of get my confidence where I was. The majority of what we do is extremely basic. You know, we're meeting the athlete where they're at, and then we're going from there, you know. So it's understanding their needs and building that plan, building that program, and not overlooking the simple things that we all started with, you know, the traditional movements and the traditional pieces of equipment. So start with the basics, build that foundation, and then if that athlete is showing that they're ready for those progressions and different types of training, then that's when you need to incorporate those. I think for me, it's really given me great perspective working with Gen Pop, working with collegiate athletes, working with finally at that professional level. You know, I've been kind of every step in the road to this step, and it just, when you're there, you're like, okay, I've gathered all of this knowledge, all of this experience. I've talked to so many different types of people, worked with so many different types of injuries, had so many different types of end goals that, you know, I have this base foundational knowledge to just use that and let that guide my way when I have the two-way, the assignment player, the E10 player who's just trying to prove himself, you know. But at the end of the day, it's consistency, it's habits. And your job as a performance coach is to be as efficient as you can in helping them. So, yeah, I mean, they're always asking, hey, where do I get one of these things at? Like, how do I buy this? How do I find this? Like, do you know somebody? Like, can you hook it up? That's kind of what the conversations are like. But like, they're curious. They're like, what is this thing, man? I've never seen this. A lot of these guys didn't have anything when they played. It was just, shoot, I don't even know if they had a foam roller back then. You know, it's like now you've seen the progression of kind of MIDI bands, some of these other types of bands, and some of these other types of equipment now they're easy to use on the road. But I think this is one of the most effective ones because it's getting you the load that you need for these athletes, whether it's we're doing tendon loading, whether we're doing just traditional exercises for strength, hypertrophy. I mean, it's essentially a one-stop shop, and that's what I tell these coaches is like, this is vital. The athletes need these doses consistently, and if we could get this efficiently on the road by easily just strapping this up to something, mounting it up on something, and it's good to go. So that's typically how I explain it to them. It's just a mobile unit, mobile cable system, and we're able to get our workloads that we need to prepare these athletes on the road.